I'm glad we're all here today. I'm glad to see your smiling faces, and I have a little show and tell for you today. I thought we'd get back to basics and we'd talk about proper spine alignment and spine health. And in one of my yoga training classes, one of the teachers used a slinky to talk about the importance of spine health. And I happened to find this lovely slinky that has all these different colors. I don't know if you can see them.
Wow, where'd you find that?
I don't know. YouTube is, I mean, online, you know, Amazon's a great place for goodies. But it works out perfectly because if you look at the slinky, the top, and think of it of your spine as your spine, the top yellow part would be your cervical spine. The next pink part is your thoracic, that's your rib cage. The bluish green would be your lumbar, which is not quite it's not in proportion, but you get the idea. Then this last yellow part would be your sacrum. That's that triangular bone at the end, right above your tailbone. And then this little pink edge is your coccyx, your tailbone, right? So it really kind of works out nice for demonstration purposes. So your spine, in order to have good posture and in order to be safe when you move, you have to know that your spine moves in 5 directions. So first one is axial extension. So it opens this way. Can you see? So you make space between the vertebrae so that you can move it in any other direction. So axial is probably the most important movement of the spine. That's what I always say to you: make a long spine, make space between your vertebrae. This is what I'm talking about, because as we get older, our spine, gets narrower because we have some stenosis, or we have arthritis with the little spurs and stuff that kind of adhere to the discs, or we get compression. Our discs start to collapse just with gravity and age. So it's super important to make space before we move in any other direction so that we're not compressing discs and nerves and that sort of thing. The other way your spine moves is forward, which is called flexion. And then it moves backward, which is known as extension. And then we can move laterally right and left, which is side to side, right? And then the last way your spine moves is in rotation, this way, in a twist. But if you look at the slinky, and I'm trying to get it in a good light, if we try to do a lateral move and we don't axially extend first, go tall, right, long, see what's happening to the discs here? See how they're compressing? See how they're touching here? But if we axially extend and then we laterally extend, you see how we keep the distance between the discs? And then this way we can keep space. We're not compressing any vertebrae. We're not compressing any nerves. We're not causing any damage to any of the ligaments that might be running through it. So it's really important. And in today's kind of our session, our practice, I want to spend a lot of time setting up your posture. So setting up for that axial extension before we laterally extend. Axial extension before we flex. Axial extension before we extend, right? So that's why I always say to you, stack your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, because by doing that, you're lining up the vertebrae, right? So first we're lining it up straight because you don't want your head forward of your hips, right? And then we pull it up. So then we make space and then we can do whatever we want. And as we get older too, our spinal column is not as lubricated. So if we axially extend and then move it, we're moving that synovial fluid through our spine, and we're what they call imbibing our discs, bringing fluid to them so that we can have more flexibility in movement. So having said that, let's get started. So let's bring our hands to heart center and just drop your chin. Okay. Slowly relax your shoulders away from your ears and just start to bring some awareness to your breath.
We have company.
Ah, look,
Hey,
thank
Keith.
you for joining us, Keith. So just settle into this present moment and try to bring some awareness to your breath. And know that yoga, just be reminded that yoga is a practice. It's not an exercise. It's a way of life. It's a well-being. It's a mindful practice to help us to live a healthier lifestyle and to have better well-being. And if we take about 20,000 breaths on average a day, and most of them are involuntary, it just happens to keep us alive. And most of them are shallow, they stay in our lungs. So when we really become mindfully aware of deepening and slowing down our breath, we can tap into that parasympathetic nervous system, which allows us to rest and restore and calms us. So that's the goal of our practice today. So maybe set that as your intention, to just be mindfully aware of your breath and of your spine, so that we can use this next time together as a practice of well-being. And check in with your face and your shoulders. Make sure that you're softening those muscles and just let your shoulders fall away from your ears. And as always, if thoughts pop in your head, just acknowledge them. Bring your focus back to your breath and they'll slowly dissolve. Feel the breath fill your belly, expand your ribs, and lift all the way into your chest. And then empty that breath the same way. Empty your lungs, bring your ribs in, squeeze your belly, pull your belly button into your spine. Wring out the last of that breath. A couple more deep breaths in the same way. And then slowly start to float open your eyes and relax. And I thought today we would start by standing. So let's come to the side of your chair.
Stand first.
Spread out a little.
So come to the side of your chair. Get your right hand, have the chair on your right side. So your right hand is holding the back of the chair. And your feet are rooted into the earth. Hang on 1 second, I'm going to change the camera angle.
Lean with your right hand. Oh,
Whoops.
oh.
Okay, so let's start at the side of our chair. Right hand on the right side of your chair. Your feet are rooted in the earth. So if you lift your toes, you feel the big toe mound and the heel are even, and the weight is evenly distributed between the big toe mound and all your knuckles and your heel. And so then you could slowly release your toes back to the earth. Now, bring some awareness to your spine and see if you're curving your back or if you're rounding your back, and try to make any micro adjustments. So think of your spine as that slinky now. So we want to keep it long and tall. We want to lift it so that you're making light, you're bringing lightness into the upper part of your body by inhaling and lifting your spine, keeping your cervical spine neutral, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over knees. So now we have good alignment. And let's just take some breaths here. This is your mountain pose. And you're relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed, your neck is soft, so you could move your head, just kind of move it around organically and just feel the softness in your neck. And then come to stillness so that your chin is gently tucked back so that your ears can be over your shoulders. There you go. And hold on to the chair for support. Don't lock your knees. Leave your knees soft and leave a little distance between your feet. A lot of directions, but I want to make sure we're in good alignment. And then relax. Exhale. Inhale tall. Exhale, relax. Now drop your chin to your chest, just stretch out your neck, and let your left hand just hang limp at your side. Just get a stretch in the back of your neck. And then inhale, lift back to neutral. Exhale, lift your chin up to the ceiling.
Chin up,
And exhale, bring it back to neutral.
back down.
And let's just nod our head side to side. Exhale, chin over left shoulder,
To the side.
and then nod the other way. And just feel the stretch in the side of your neck again, over to the left, and back to the right. And dip your chin back to your chest, dropping your chin so that you feel that stretch in the back of your neck. And then slowly come up to neutral. Now walk your both hands to the back of the chair and your feet so that the toes are facing the back of your chair and your feet are hips width apart. So both hands are on the back of your chair. There you go. And you're keeping your posture, you're checking that slinky back. We want to make sure there's space. And then you're going to slowly, with a straight, long spine, begin to walk back into a down dog. So you're going to extend, keep your biceps close to your chest, close in towards your ears as you walk backwards, and just push back with your hips so you're getting a nice stretch in your upper back and in your hamstrings. Keep your ears between your biceps. And just nice long stretch, keeping a nice long, even spine. Your gaze is down so your cervical spine is soft. And then engage your core, lift your chest, and start to walk your feet back towards the chair. Check in with your alignment. Make any little micro adjustments that you need. Don't lock your knees. And then let's do it again. Ready? Inhale, lift. Nice long spine. Exhale, step back. Biceps near your ears. Coming into like an L shape. Keep your spine straight and long. Feel the stretch in your upper back and on either side of your lumbar as you push your hips back. Keep those biceps tucked in. Couple breaths here. Nice stretch in your hamstrings. Take it as far as it feels good to you. If you don't feel comfortable coming all the way down, then maybe just take it a little bit out here. But the most important thing is keeping a long spine. And then slowly engage your core, walk up forward. Adjust your shoulders, soften your neck. And then when you're ready, take your left foot or whatever your outside foot is and step it back just a couple of feet till you're grounded and rooted, and you can still keep your hands on the chair. And Chip, you're resting that on your left arm on the chair. Maybe walk in closer to the chair so that you're not rounding your back. Good. And keep that front knee bent over your ankle. And try to get that back heel by keeping a nice, tall, long spine. Good.
Arm over the chair.
There we go. So you should feel the stretch in your long-legged calf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hello, calf. Good morning. And just sit here, but make sure that your front bent knee is tracking over your ankle like a 90 degrees, and your toe is pointing forward so that you're not hyperextending your knee, and you're nice, tall, long back. And then slowly straighten that front knee. So this is a pyramid pose. So both legs are straight, and then start to hinge at your hips and come forward. So now you'll feel the stretch in your hamstrings, your front hamstring and your back calf. Nice long spine. Gaze is forward. Biceps are close to your body. And then inhale, bend that front knee. And we're just going to take that fluid movement if you can. So we have a front bent knee, straight long back. In that axial extension, right? Making space between the vertebrae. Then we're pushing our hips back, straightening that front knee and bringing our chest forward towards the chair so we get a stretch in our hamstring. Waking up that lower back and just use your breath to move in and out of this pose, these two poses. Inhale, lift, exhale, push back. And maybe you need to stay in one pose a little longer than the other because your hamstring's a little tighter than your calf. You do it, your body feels you need today. And then inhale, lift, exhale, bend. That movement going, and Skip and Janie, try to keep your shoulders parallel to the chair so that you're not favoring
Keep your shoulders.
your
forward.
uncooperative arm. There you go. And let this be your last fluid movement.
Okay.
And then come in. Now, leave it, stop at when you have your front knee bent and your back leg is straight. And then turn out your back toes a little bit. So kind of like a 45-degree angle or whatever feels comfortable to you. So your shoulders are still dropped down. So you can just have your fingertips on the chair for support. And now play around with lifting one or both arms. You see what feels good to you, where you feel secure and stable. Your hips and your shoulders are facing the back of the chair. And this is warrior one. Strong, long spine. If you're only using one arm, that's fine. Whatever feels secure to you.
Hold the chair.
Engage your core. Lift out of your lower body. Feel lightness and length in your spine.
Oh, I'm getting a cramp.
And then come back to center, to the chair. And walk your feet, your back foot in to meet your front. Shake out. Woo, take a minute. I'm going to turn my chair so we can do the same thing on the other side. You can leave your chair just the way it is. Okay, and you now face your chair again. Check in with your posture and your alignment. Make sure your spine is long. Make sure you're making space. And then you're going to step your right foot back, your front foot back, so whatever foot you had forward before. And check in with your bent knee. Make sure that that knee, your front leg, is over your ankle.
It's going to be very
Nice
nice.
spine. Shoulders are down your back. So if you need to get closer, Skip, get closer. And we're stretching out that back hamstring. So turn your foot in whatever posture feels good. And then begin to pull your hips back and straighten that front foot. And then bend your knee. And use your breath to go between those two movements. Pull your hip back, straighten your front leg. Maybe come forward. Feel the stretch in your front hamstring. Lift, bend that knee. Feel the stretch in your back calf. Keeping nice long spine. Check in with your ears, make sure they're over your shoulders. Breathe, use your breath to soften this pose. And then fluidly go between those two movements. Just kind of lubricating your joints and your hips and your knees.
You doing anything?
Couple more. And then find stillness with your front knee bent and your back foot down if you can. And make sure that they're on two different tracks, like railroad tracks, separate, like hips width apart, so that you have more stability. And then play around with lifting one or both arms for warrior one. Lift up tall, making space in your spine. Try to keep your shoulders parallel to your hips. And then bring that hand back to the chair, walk your back foot in and shake out. And Skip and Jamie, because that one arm doesn't work so well for you, you have a tendency to drop it. Be mindful of lifting that right shoulder up. So even if you're not lifting your arm up over your head or even your elbow, just be mindful of lifting that shoulder up so that you can create length in the upper part of your spine. Right, nice, very good, Skip, good adjustment. Okay, now, we're gonna do a small back bend. So if we come back, you're facing your chair. I want you to take either your hands on your hips or leave one hand on the chair, one hand behind your back or on your hip, whatever feels comfortable to you. Make sure your posture is you're grounded, right? And then you're going to slowly extend back. So first we have to inhale, axially extend, right? Make space, and then exhale, arch your back. So you can use your hands here. You can put both hands on the chair. And then inhale, use your core, lift your chest, come back to neutral spine. Exhale, walk your feet back so that we can stretch out that back that we just did a slight back bend on. And reverse that movement of our spine to release it. And maybe wiggle our hips side to side, do some lateral extensions. And then come to stillness in your down dog. Engage your core, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Now turn sideways. We're gonna work on those glute muscles. So this is really important for posture too. We talked about having two glute muscles on the side and one in the back. So you have the medius and the minimus, two little guys here that keep it in place, and the maximus in the back. So we're gonna strengthen those so that we can keep our hips supported. And we're gonna also pull our shoulder blades down our back, which hug our spine, which keep our spine erect. So we're supporting our spine as best we can, checking in with our posture, and then engage your core lift and begin to lift your outside foot out to the side with your toe pointing to me. And then down. Using these side glute muscles. Keeping a straight spine. Inhale, lift. Down. Inhale, straight up. and down. Try not to lean over too much. Inhale, lift. And down. You should feel the compression, the glute, that muscle working. Ready? One more. And down. And just stretch it out. Now take that same muscle, that same leg rather, and nice and long, tall spine, and lift it forward, straight up, keeping your spine straight, keeping your shoulders over your hips, holding onto the chair for support, and then down. Try not to get this kind of action going with your hips, right? Try to keep them stacked, shoulders, head, all stacked. Ready? Inhale. Up and down. And inhale up. And exhale down. And go. One last one. Try to keep those shoulders even. Don't bring that left shoulder up to your ear, and relax. And then just kind of sit your hip out to the side, kind of work out any kind of tightness in the hips that we just created. And let's move our chair to the other side, or just walk around your chair. And let's work on this side. Take as long as you need to set your posture, to feel rooted. Make sure your hips are hip width apart, so you have good support. Check in with your alignment. There you go. And now we're gonna lift up to the side on your left. Ready? Lift, toes pointing to me.
This side.
And lift. And lift. You can have your hands on your hip, on the outside leg. Good. Keep that toe pointed to me. That's what works those side glute muscles. And lift. Good. Nice. And lift. Look at you, strong warriors. And lift. Last one. All right. Shake out. Maybe wiggle those hips around a little bit. And get ready to get set up to lift to the front. Nice tall spine. Ready? Inhale, axial extension, straight up. And then lift your front foot. And down. Hold on the chair for support. Inhale, don't lock your knee. And down. Use your core too. And try not to turn your foot out. Keep your toe pointing forward. Nice. So it's coming from your hip flexor. That crease. The top of your thigh. Last one. And lift your legs, maybe march in place a little bit. Get some movement, blood flow to the lower part of your body. Just lift your knee and march in place.
I feel it.
Yeah. Take some breaths. Keep marching. Try to bring your knees up higher. Keep your knee in front of you. Coming up towards your shoulder.
March.
March. Dun, dun. We're in the army now. There you go. Keep you going. Couple more. All right. Woo! Shake it out. 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 So now I'm going to ask you to come into goddess pose. And remember, we did this when we were seated, when we sat in the chair. We turned our knees out and our toes out, kind of on a diagonal. And we want to practice keeping a nice neutral pelvis, right? So you're kind of elongating your pelvis, lifting up out of your hips, lifting your rib cage up and making a nice tall spine. So you're holding here. If it feels better to hold both hands and stand this way, I don't know if you can see that. Whatever feels good for you. But I'm going to do it sideways so you can see me. So you have your, I'll actually face you. Have your hips out, your toes out, and you're making nice long spine. And then keep your knees tracking over your ankles if you can. So widen your stance however why it feels good to you. And then begin to bend your knees and lower your bottom. Just a little bit. Use your glutes to pull you back up. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale down. Inhale up. Take a breath here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale down. Check in with those shoulders. Make sure that they're even. And you feel it in your glutes tightening. Hold your spine strong and down. Keeping those knees tracking over your ankles. You should feel it in your glutes and your hip flexors. We're opening up our hips. And go as far, if you're here, that's fine. If you can only do little baby bends, that's fine. You honor your body, wherever it needs to be today. And if you're feeling really good and your body is feeling yummy and open, you can even take it down a little bit further. Try to keep a long spine the whole time. Last two, here's
spine straight.
two, squeeze those glutes, and down. Last one, and up. Woo! Okay, stretch out. We're gonna do one more standing pose, and we're gonna take our tree. So let's come into Tadasana, our mountain pose, right? Our strong pose. Check in with our alignment.
Get straight.
And then when you're ready, you're gonna lift your outside foot and kickstand it either at your ankle or lift it up to your calf, or you can leave it about, we're not gonna go there. Lift it all the way up. We'll just stop right here. There you go. And hold on to that chair for support, but try not to lean into it. Try to pull that hip closest to the chair, in and up, so you're making a nice long spine. There you go. And then play around with your tree. Maybe you just want to grow one branch. Set your drishti, that's your gaze, at about 3 feet in a non-moving object in front of you. Yeah. And maybe you want to play around with lifting that hand off the chair. Maybe you want to grow your branches and let them fly. Maybe you just want to hold on to the chair. If you fall out, come right back.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping a nice long spine, nice and tall, and breathe. And when you're ready, lower down with control. Shake out your standing leg, and let's try it on the other side. So set yourself up, hold on to the chair, check in with your alignment, making that space, that slinky spine, and then when you're ready, find your drishti and begin to lift. Now don't sink into the chair, pull up and lift that outside foot. Great, you guys look wonderful. Nice, relax those shoulders. Tuck that chin back a smidgen. And then play around with your tree. And then slowly bring that foot to the earth. Shake out. Now extend your feet, hold on to the chair. Open your feet as wide as you can, feel comfortable and stable. And try to get them where your feet are up, your ankles are under your wrists. If that's too far a stretch for you, then take it a little bit narrower. Now check in with your alignment. Are you swaying your back? Are you rounding your upper shoulders? So kind of tuck those shoulder blades back, hug your spine, check your hips. Now I have a tendency to really sway my hips, so I have to always be mindful to tuck my pelvic a little bit forward. So just kind of scan your body, see what you need. Point your toes to me. And then take your outside toe, your furthest from the chair toe, and turn it so that your toe is pointing straight in line with your right arm, or whatever arm you have extended, or whatever arm is even with that foot. And then bend that outside foot and extend your arms out. Extend your arms out in either direction. And you're holding on with the back hand to the chair, if you can. And this is warrior two, and your gaze is over your front hand, your bent knee. So your back leg is straight, your front knee is bent, your knee is over your ankle, your fingertips are pulling in east and west, right and left, out as far as you can, like you're being pulled in either direction, and you're nice and tall, long spine. Make sure that your front knee that's bent isn't tracking in, it's not collapsing in or out. So you're either holding onto the chair or you have both arms extended. And this is warrior two. And then slowly straighten that front knee, turn that toe forward, and then switch feet. So take the foot that was straight and point that toe either towards the chair or whatever direction you're in. Bend that front knee and extend those arms. Keeping your shoulders to me, shoulders and hips to me. So look at me for a minute. You're not doing this. Pull that shoulder back so that you have a straight line across the front of your chest. Bend that, extend that front leg. And let your gaze be over that bent knee, in the direction of that bent knee. So you can hold on to the chair here. And this is warrior two. Engage your core, pull your knee straight, turn your toe forward, holding onto the chair, outside hand on your hip, and begin to fold forward for a flexion. Hinge at your hips, straight, long, top spine, holding on the chair for support. And you feel it in your hamstring. This is a wide-legged forward fold. Nice. Inhale, use your core, lift up. Hold on to that chair for support. One more time, and you can be this way too. You can have the chair here, holding this way, and being further away from the chair, and just come down. For a wide-legged forward fold. Wide-legged forward fold. Stretching out your hamstrings, engage your core. Come straight up. Walk your feet to meet together and come to a seated position. Oh, we did a lot of hard work today.
Feet are trying to cramp.
Sit.
Take a sip of water. Sit up nice and tall. Find some comfort in your chair.
Need to sit. Need to sit.
Now check in with your posture. Make sure that your feet are flat on the earth. Make sure that your back is being supported by the back of the chair. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure they're straight across and in line with your hips. There. Just take a minute to breathe here. Just relax your hands on your thighs. And now take a notice of your breath. What's going on with your breath now? Are you a little winded? We did a lot of work. We can build up your cardio a little bit with our isometric movements. See if your breath has become shallow. And if it has, just mindfully slow it down, even it out. And And slowly, let's do some gentle cat-cows to just relieve some of the tension that we might have created in our backs. So come around, make a big hug, a big beach ball, drop your chin to your chest. Exhale, open up, hold the back of the chair, lift your chest. You might want to scoot forward a little bit if that feels more comfortable. And then just take a couple of these on your breath. Seated cat-cows. Really pulling those shoulder blades apart, pulling that belly button into the spine, and then opening like a flower, lifting your chest, lifting your chin, lifting your heart. Use your breath to be the rhythm that you follow as you take these two postures.
Oops, I'm off. Stretch.
And maybe staying in one a little bit longer if that feels good to you. Decide where you need to be. And then come to stillness. And one last movement we haven't done with our spines, and that's the rotation. So I want you to turn sideways on your chair so that your right hand is holding the back of the chair. And you're, there you go, nice.
Right
And you have a nice long spine. And you're going to inhale length. Exhale, turn towards your right. Don't grab the chair and pull you around. Let your middle, your rib cage, your thoracic, do the twisting. Keeping your knees straight and parallel. And keeping your spine long and tall so there's space for you to twist. And then gently unwind and come back. Maybe tuck your belly to your back. A little seated cat, and then come up to neutral. Ready? One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Remember, the twisting is coming from your thoracic. You're not yanking yourself around on the back of the chair. And slowly release and unwind. One more time, round your shoulders, pull your belly button to your spine. Just bring that curve in the back of your body and then come up to neutral. Walk your feet over to the opposite side.
The other way.
Last posture. Sit up nice and tall. Left hand is on the back of the chair. Engage your core, lift long spine. Exhale, twist. Maybe take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Maybe hold the back of the chair, but whatever you do, don't yank. Let the twist come from your body, from your thoracic. You don't want to pull any muscles. Keep your knees forward. And your gaze follows the twist. And then unwind, come back to neutral. Pull your belly button in, round your shoulders. Inhale, lift straight up. Grab the back of the chair. Exhale, twist. Maybe notice this time you get a little bit deeper. Breathe here, don't hold your breath. And then slowly unwind. One last cat pose just to release that back tension. And then come up to neutral. And find your way into a seated pose. We're not going to even do blast-offs today. How do you like that? I'll give you a week off.
Skip's happy.
But doesn't mean you shouldn't practice it on your own.
That's true.
Do that.
You can do
We
it by
go to a
yourself.
Catholic church, we practice it every Sunday.
I hear you.
Up and down, up and down.
All right, so let's bring our attention back to our breath and come into our final resting pose, the Shavasana. So just check in with your body. And take whatever last little poses you think you need. If you want to do some organic stretches with your neck or with your arms, do whatever feels good to you, and then finally settle into this resting pose. Either keep your hands at heart center. Sometimes it's more comfortable to just let the palms face up and let the backs of your hands just rest on your thighs, so you can be completely at peace. And just scan your body. See if there's any place that you still might be holding a little tension. And then with intention, bring your breath to that part of your body and feel those muscles release, and the tension just melt away. And just find a comfortable breath. Doesn't have to be deep, just nice and relaxed. Eckhart Tolle says that one conscious breath in and out is a meditation. So let's use that thought, and let's take ourselves into the meditation of breath. So all our focus is on the inhale and the exhale. And maybe begin to take those inhales and exhales to a count of 4. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue counting to yourself, smoothing out your breath. Taking a slight pause between each of those breaths. And maybe on the inhale, think about inhaling peace, a calm and gentle spirit, a peace that is soothing and relaxing and brings you great comfort. And on the exhale, imagine exhaling stress. Stress of any kind. And then inhale, trust. Trust that you have all you need inside you to get through any situation, any life experience. Trust that things happen as they're meant to in the right time. Trust that you have the support of loved ones who care about you and will carry you through. And on your exhale, exhale worry. Worry about things that might come to be. Worry about finances. Worry about health. Let them all go. Let them fall out of your mind's eye, out of your heart, into the earth. And on your next inhale, inhale courage. Courage to stand by what you know is right and what you believe in. Courage to face the challenges, unexpected as they may be, that appear in our lives. Courage to let go and just be in this present moment. And on your exhale, exhale fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of health issues. Fear of disappointments. They have no place in your mind's eye and in your heart. They don't serve you and your well-being. And lastly, on this last breath, inhale love. Love for yourself. Love for all those in your family and in your circle of friends. And most importantly, inhale love for the unlovable. And on the exhale, exhale gratitude. Gratitude for your body. Gratitude for your relationships and your partners. Gratitude for this beautiful earth. Gratitude for being alive in this present moment. Gratitude for this community of yogis. So bring your chin to your chest. Drop your eyes. If they're not closed, at least drop them down towards the earth. And with a full, grateful heart, I thank each and every one of you for joining me in today's practice, for honoring your bodies, and for sharing your blessings with me. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.